Hello MMA fans and welcome to another video. Jaw-dropping moments can happen in almost every sport, like scoring a superb free kick goal in soccer or 3 points winning shot in basketball. However, no other sport can give you mind-blowing moments like the sport of MMA, especially in organizations with the highest level of competition, like the UFC today or Pride FC back in the good old days. Locking two skilled, powerful, trained killers in a cage, eager to take each other's heads off, is not for the nerds and virgins. Just ask Colby Covington. And one of the reasons for that is the unpredictably stunning knockouts that can haunt you in your dreams like Freddy Krueger. That being the case, be aware that viewer discretion is advised, because we will cover the most unique and rare knockouts in MMA history. Mirko vs. Gabriel Gonzaga. This is probably the best example of allowing someone to try his own medicine. Krokop was notorious for his leg kicks, scoring mind-blowing high-kick knockouts in Pride FC, dropping people with middle kicks, and destroying fighters' legs with low kicks. We are talking about one of the scariest knockout artists of all time. What is now Ngannou's right hand was Krokop's left leg at that time. In 2007, he faced Gabriel Gonzaga in the UFC 70 main event, to determine the top contender for the UFC heavyweight title, at that time held by Randy Couture. This was supposed to be a classic striker versus a grappler bout, and not many were surprised when Gonzaga took the fight on the ground and started landing heavy ground and pound. After causing minor damage to Krokop, the fight is eventually on the feet again, and now the fans should not blink because Krokop would throw that legendary high kick and sent Gonzaga to a different dimension, right? Right? This sport is full of jaw-dropping moments. This fight was no exception when Gonzaga threw a massive high kick out of nowhere, connecting precisely on Krokop's head, giving him a taste of his signature move and knocking the Croatian unconscious. If you didn't watch the fight and someone told you the bout ended with a scary high kick KO, you would have immediately thought it was Krokop doing it. But no, it was the other way around. No shame in that. We all would have thought so. This sport is so unpredictable. Rampage Jackson vs. Ricardo Arona. Back in time, MMA was a big thing in Japan. Pride FC was filling stadiums full of about 50,000 people per event. Arenas filled with huge crowds. Witnessing the world's best fighters soccer kicking each other in the heads was just another Tuesday for the MMA community in Japan. One such event will be the Pride FC Critical Countdown 2004. Besides having MMA gods like Fedor, Krokop, and Big Nog at the event, the best highlight will belong to the always entertaining Rampage Jackson. He'll square off against the Brazilian Ricardo Arona, who before the fight he only lost one by the last emperor himself, Fedor Emelianenko. Being a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a nasty ground game, Arona's best chance was to take the fight to the ground, do what he does best, and with that, avoid the incredible knockout power of Rampage. He will almost achieve that when catching Rampage into a triangle choke from the bottom, on a mission to force him to tap out. However, the American has a different plan that night. He will pick up Arona and powerbomb him into the canvas, KOing him out cold. That was a scary KO and another reason why Rampage is one of the most intimidating fighters in MMA history. The incredible power and strength one needs to lift a high-level BJJ black belt from the ground and slam him like that are beyond anyone's understanding. Edson Barboza vs. Terry Etim. If you are a fight fan, you've probably seen at least a couple of Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies. In every film, he has one signature finish, the spinning back kick. The thing is, certain techniques simply do not work in the octagon. As fight fans, we probably thought that such a kick does not work in a real fight. But then Edson Barboza put those speculations to sleep in his fight against Terry Etim. During the fight, Barboza managed to neutralize Etim's combos, using his kicks, getting the edge of the Brit with his world-class stand-up. It seemed like Barboza would win unanimously when, out of nowhere, he threw a spinning wheel kick that landed perfectly on Etim's face, sending him to the floor like a falling tree. That will make him the first fighter in UFC history to finish an opponent via a wheel kick, a kick that will earn him the Fight of the Night and Performance of the Night bonus awards. A spectacular knockout, a knockout for the ages, a highlight reel that we see in so many UFC promos even today. By the way, if you like our video so far, please make sure to press the like button. Fedor Emelianenko vs. Andrei Arlovski. Starting from the early 2000s for nearly a decade, Fedor Emelianenko was a dominant force in the heavyweight division. At least up until that point, he was considered the greatest MMA fighter of all time. At a time when barely anyone knew of Stipe Miocic, Cain Velasquez, or Francis Ngannou, in an event organized by Affliction, Fedor will take on the former UFC champion Andrei Arlovski as the main event of the evening. Arlovski possessed that knockout power with a record of 15-5 before that, finishing 14 of his opponents. Many thought that he might have the potential to make the last emperor run for his money. That wasn't so far from the truth, since Arlovski had early success during the fight in the stand-up exchanges, landing some clean shots, pushing Fedor to the ropes, and getting attention. The overconfident Arlovski gets this brilliant idea to try something nobody has ever attempted on Fedor, a jumping knee. As Arlovski pushes him with a front kick and jumps for the kill, out of nowhere, Fedor throws a massive over right hand, landing clean on Arlovski's chin, knocking him out mid-air unconscious. Arlovski's body falls on the canvas, leaving everyone shocked at what just happened. Yeah, not the most brilliant idea to do against the last emperor. They didn't call him the GOAT for nothing. Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem.
Francis Ngannou has the world record for the most powerful punch. His punch is the equivalent to 96 horsepower, which is equal to getting hit by a Ford Escort going as fast as it can.
The UFC president wasn't just saying this so people would hear him talk. He did that for the same reason they put warnings on packages of cigarettes. And fighting Francis Ngannou will send you to sleep faster than sedative hypnotics. Just ask the Reem, yes, Alistair Overeem, the former K1 champion who was widely considered one of the best strikers in the UFC. Overeem is an intelligent fighter. He knew that one punch from Ngannou could put him to sleep. Therefore, he got the fight into a clinch, but without success. Soon after the referee separates them from there, the first exchange they make, Ngannou throws an uppercut from hell, with 96 horsepower landing clean, giving the impression that Overeem's head wants to leave his body, putting him to sleep instantly. And this is not just anybody. We are talking about a legit striker, a former kickboxing champion. Yet the Predator intended to punch his head to the moon, scoring one of the most brutal knockouts ever, leaving everyone watching with their mouths wide open. Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal. Is there any other fight besides this one that will not even allow John Anik to finish his starting sentence about Modelo? In a classic striker versus wrestler fight, most of the MMA community thought that Askren would use his Olympic-level wrestling, get Masvidal to the deep waters, and eventually finish him in the later rounds with overwhelming ground and pound. Unfortunately for him, Kimbo Slice's prodigy had different intentions, a plan that would become a highlight for the ages. As the fight is about to start, they look at each other, and we can see the confidence in Masvidal's eyes, his cold-blooded mentality, smiling at Askren like he knows something that we don't know, as he knows precisely what he is about to do. And that's precisely what happened. Not even a second after the referee gives the call to start the fight, Masvidal runs towards the confused Askren and shuts his lights off in a matter of seconds with an incredible jumping knee to the head, followed by two super necessary punches. The fastest knockout in UFC history. It was shocking, unbelievable. You simply don't see such things in real life, and this was straight out of Hollywood. Not even Boyka could do it better and undisputed. Joaquin Buckley versus Impa Kasanganay. Wow, if I say this finish was something straight out of a movie, that would even be an understatement. You can only see this movie in video games like Tekken or Mortal Kombat. A fight between two young and relatively unknown fighters, Buckley versus Kasanganay, will shock the world with a jaw-dropping moment in every sense of the word. After successfully blocking a kick from Buckley, Kasanganay grabbed hold of his leg. And of course, this was played by the books. And if you're familiar with Muay Thai, this is how you are trained to clear the leg. Play by the book and nothing terrible would happen, right? Well, this is MMA. MMA is a crazy sport, and this is just another proof that anything can happen in an MMA fight. While Kasanganay held the leg, a single kick was enough to support Buckley to leverage his body with a spin and a back kick from his right leg to stick his foot right on Kasanganay's jaw, knocking him out as his legs froze and lights went off, falling on the canvas like a felled tree. That knockout went viral on the internet. The UFC tweet with the video was the most liked, most retweeted, and most viewed tweet in the history of the UFC. Across 3 tweets, 3 Instagram posts, 4 Facebook posts, and a TikTok video, the Buckley knockout video has generated more than 65 million views. And what do you guys think? Do you agree with our selections? Which knockout do you consider the most unique in MMA? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you would like to watch more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.